Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Team Barca. In today's video we are talking Barca news. So much has gone on in the last 7 days, I don't even know where to start. But of course there's only one place to start if you think about it, and that is not just the best news of the week, but the best news of the last 5 years in my opinion. Bartomeu is officially and finally out of the club. He doesn't have any more control. He can't ruin the transfers, the strategies, the bringing in of players, selling players, or anything like that anymore. He's out, and we'll just have to wait and see what it means for whoever comes in. But for now, I'm ecstatic. I'm so excited. I haven't been this excited about a Barca news. I don't even know for how long. Him leaving the club is not just an important part of where the club needs to go in the future, it's also extremely symbolic of where we've been for the last couple of years. So in today's video we are starting by talking about the entire thing, everything going on at Barca at the moment in terms of the board resigning. So let's get into it. Alright, so it all started with an urgent board meeting on Tuesday. Bartomeu and the rest of the board met together, and they talked about whether or not they should go through with the vote of no confidence, which is against them, of course, and that they decided to step down, that they decided to leave the club, they decided to resign. And what Bartomeu said was that he wouldn't risk the safety or the health of the members, as he wanted to postpone the vote of no confidence due to the COVID crisis. I do think that's a load of BS in my opinion. He just wanted to have another reason to stay in his position, and maybe we'd have some great results and he could stay in the position that he's in. It's great to know that he's out of the club, but a lot of stuff is going to happen in the next few days or weeks. We need to figure out who's coming in, what their plan is. At the moment it looks like Victor Font is the main guy coming in, but it could be another person, there could be another rivals really starting to show at the moment, as they know Bartomeu is leaving. But him leaving is a tremendous thing for Barca going forward. Not only is he a big reason why Messi wanted to leave, but it's also a big reason why the club hasn't really been functioning for the last 4 or 5 years. He's been in charge of transfers, which has gone terribly. Of course, we've brought in some exciting players, but we've also signed players we never should have, like Griezmann, like Coutinho, players who really didn't fit the system, and we overpaid tremendously. And therefore, I think it's exciting, and I can't really put into words what it means as a Barca fan to be able to see the guy who has not the sole responsibility, but a major part of the responsibility as to why we haven't won any of the big trophies in the last few years, other than of course the league, which is pretty much all down to Messi's brilliance and Ter Stegen in goal. Therefore I'm just happy to see him leave. Honestly, I could make a long video about all the technical stuff as to why he left, what's going to happen to him now, some of the financial situations, but I don't think that's the most relevant at the moment. What's important right now is that we rally together as Barca fans, that we realize the significance of this moment, that we realize that another person, another board is going to come in, and we need to demand that they really have a different approach to how the club is structured and what we need to do in the future. That's the first news of the week. By far the biggest news is the best news we've had in a long time. In my opinion, I thought it was quite clear that Messi was going to leave in the summer, maybe even in January, but now I don't know. Everything is up in the air. In my opinion, everything can happen in terms of him renewing a contract. So we'll just have to see what happens in terms of that. Bartomeu did say one big and damaging thing, I think, when he left. He confirmed that Barcelona was willing to participate in the European Super League. That would replace the Champions League. It would be with a lot of the good teams around Europe. It would be financially a much better case for the bigger clubs. But it's just one of the steps to ruin football, in my opinion. Some of the critiques that has been around the European Super League is the entire idea of playing in the US, playing in Qatar, playing in all these different countries, instead of playing at home. And although it would be exciting for fans around the world to have Bayern Munich and Barcelona play against each other in Chicago, what football is all about is the fans at the ground. So the home fans, the people who pay for a membership to follow the club closely, to the people who live in Catalonia, to Barcelonistas who live near the stadium, who want to feel the tension in the air whenever Barcelona play, that would be destroyed if you do something like that where you move around in the entire world. Therefore, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few weeks, if any of the other clubs come out and confirm like Bartomeu did, in terms of if they want to participate in this project. I do hope it's going to be put on hold. I thought it was quite strange, actually, in my opinion, that Bartomeu came out and said this. There hasn't really been any news about it for the last few months, not to my awareness at least, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. All right, that was the first big news. Bartomeu heading out. Great to hear. Now we're gonna go into a bit of a preview of the Juventus match and see who's gonna start, how we're gonna play, and stick around if you want to listen to that. Alright guys, so in terms of heading into the Juventus match, we know that Juventus have a lot of injuries. They also have some people out with COVID, like Cristiano. That's obviously a major blow for them. I think it's a shame as well for Barcelona fans. There would be nothing better than beating Cristiano at his own home ground. We're not going to see him. We're also not going to see Chiellini or De Ligt and many other Bonucci probably as well in the starting lineup. So it's going to be a weird makeshift backline for Juventus in this game. So I do think we do have a great chance of winning the game and really proving that we've put the El Clasico loss behind us and we're ready to show what we can bring to the table. In my starting lineup, I've obviously put Lenglet and Araujo in the central defense. That only makes sense. That's the only two defenders we have with us in the squad. Dest at right back after his incredible, exciting performance against Real Madrid. There can only be one position for him to play, and that's the right back position. I'll give him 90 minutes any day of the week currently after that performance. On the left side is probably going to be Jordi Alba, although I do think we need to be cautious with him. I don't really understand why we don't try to play Junior Firpo. He's much younger. He has a high ceiling in terms of potential, but for some reason it just seems as if Koeman and also Setien really didn't like him. The same goes for Valverde. There might be some issue with Junior Firpo. I don't really know what it is. We'll just have to wait and figure out if any information comes out. Of course, I'll tell you all about it if it does, but at the moment it looks like Jordi Alba is going to start on the left back position. Ter Stegen, it looks like he's going to be back, not for this game, but soon, which is exciting. I think Neto has played quite well, but Ter Stegen is just another beast in goal. I mean, his one-on-ones is excellent. He's much better with his feet, and I think he has better reflexes as well. In terms of midfield, I think that's the most interesting part. Busquets probably had one of his worst games in the last 5 years against Real Madrid. I thought he was terrible. He gave away balls constantly. He didn't track Valverde for the first goal from Real Madrid. His passing just isn't that crisp anymore. De Jong, great player, played an alright match, but I do think it means a lot who you play next to, especially when you have that double pivot role. And therefore, I do think we would put Pjanic, is also against his old team, Pjanic next to De Jong in midfield. You could play Ricky Puig there. I wouldn't really have a problem with that. Carlos Alenia could also be an interesting shout. But those two, Pjanic and De Jong, is probably the main guys to really hurt Juventus in terms of taking control of the deep-lying playmaker positions. In front of them, Coutinho's out for 3 weeks with a hamstring injury. Therefore, it's probably going to be Pedri. I didn't think he had the best game against Real Madrid, but I think there are tons of explanations as to why this is. First of all, he's not a right winger. I have no idea why Koeman put him on the right wing during El Clasico, maybe to defend deeper. I do think that Griezmann probably defends better than Pedri, so in terms of that argument, I don't really see the sense, but playing Pedri at the number 10 could be a good position for him. He can turn on the ball, his passing is very good, and he can dribble past opponents as well, and therefore create good opportunities in the final third. You could also put Griezmann at the number 10 or Messi. In my opinion, I know this might be controversial, I would put Messi on the bench. I do think he's played every single minute in every single game this season, and I think it's starting to show. He needs to come on in maybe the 60th minute, 65th minute, and then just finish the game off. He still has tremendous impact on the game, but if you play every minute of every game, you get tired, especially if you're 33, 34 years old. Therefore, in my opinion, I would play Griezmann on top, Pedri behind him, Fati on the left, and then Dembélé on the right. We need to get Dembélé started. It cannot be true that he's supposed to always come on the field with 10 minutes left. He cannot show what he can bring to this team if he only plays for 10 minutes. Ansu Fati, I do think he played quite well against Real Madrid. He also got that crucial goal, but he's better on the left wing for now. I know all his time during when he played in La Masia, he played as the number 9, but I do think his best position currently in the Barcelona squad, also in terms of his physical development, would be better on the left wing. He's pacey, his dribbling ability is great, he's great on the pass, and he loves to make those deep runs behind the defensive line of the opposing team. You would then put Griezmann on top, Pedri behind him, and left and right winger with Ansu Fati and Dembélé. I think that would be an interesting and also quite attacking lineup. You could always introduce players like Trincao or Ricky Puig during the game, put Messi on top if you want with 30 minutes to go. I know this is my opinion, and it might be controversial to put Messi on the bench, but we do need to remember he needs rest. He needs rest time. My realistic approach to the game is probably that Koeman is going to line up with Griezmann right, Ansu Fati left, Messi top, and Pedri in the center, and then probably Busquets and De Jong. Although I do think Busquets, he should definitely be on the bench. I think that's the more realistic approach from Koeman. For some reason, he really likes what Busquets does in midfield, and maybe Pjanic just really fitness-wise isn't ready. Alright guys, that was the lineup against Juventus. The tactical analysis, I do think that Juventus is not as strong as they used to be defensively. Definitely not as strong. So we need to attack them. We need to prove that we are not just the bigger team, we are the better team. They don't have any home fans, which is great for us, obviously. But I do think we can really push them if we go with an attacking lineup and really try to push them. Araujo is going to help a lot in the central areas of defense in terms of his tracking back speed. He's much faster than PK, and therefore he can track some of the runners going in behind, like Dybala, it could be. Bernardeschi would be another one. Alright guys, I'm excited to do these videos. I hope you like what you hear. If you do, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any suggestions as you want me to talk about or any news you think I need to react to, just put it in the comments and I'll always get back to you. I answer every single comment on every single video I make. I love being in contact with fans, and therefore, as I always say, enjoy the Spanish guitar and have a great day on the way out. Bye.